Chapter 1. A World Without Dinosaurs.
60 million years ago, the world was healing. The age of dinosaurs, the terrifying reign of the Tyrannosaurus, the armored ankylosaurs, and the soaring pterosaurs, had come to a fiery end. The asteroid that struck Earth left a crater 100 miles wide and a legacy of extinction. In the smoldering ruins of that cataclysm, life slowly began to return. Forests crept back into the ravaged landscape. Swamps and jungles oozed with heat and humidity. A new era had begun, the Paleocene epoch, and nature was once again writing the rules. But this time, the rules were about to change.
Deep in what is now Colombia, a silent monster slithered through the mud and Venus, inheriting the throne left behind by the ancient reptiles.
It was neither dinosaur nor dragon. It had no wings, no claws, and no roars to announce its arrival. It didn't need any, because it was Titanoboa, the largest, heaviest, and most terrifying snake the planet has ever seen. Chapter 2. Born from fire, forged in swamps.
Titanoboa cerreionensis wasn't born to rule.
It evolved to dominate. At a time when equatorial temperatures soared to over 90 degrees Fahrenheit 32 degrees Celsius year-round, reptiles could grow beyond what we see today. Warm-blooded predators struggled in the steamy, oxygen-rich world. But cold-blooded beasts, like snakes, thrived. Out of this hot, humid cradle slithered a creature 42 feet long, 13 meters, weighing over 2,500 pounds, 1,100 kilograms. Picture a snake longer than a bus, heavier than a polar bear, with a crushing power to shatter bones and silence any prey. This was no mere python.
No boa constrictor.
This was nature's ultimate stealth weapon. Its skin, dark, patterned, and damp, blended perfectly with the swamp. It moved with eerie silence, eyes unblinking, tongue tasting the air for a heartbeat it could call its last meal. And when it struck with the force of a nightmare.
Chapter 3. The Kill Zone. The Cerreion jungle wasn't empty.
It teemed with crocodile-like reptiles, giant turtles, and primitive mammals, all blissfully unaware that a new apex predator was watching. Titanoboa didn't chase. It didn't roar. It waited. Coiled in the underbrush like a muscular shadow, it waited for days, sometimes weeks, without moving. Then, when the moment came, splash, snap, crash, its jaws locked around its prey, pulling it into an inescapable embrace.
A twist, a constriction, a sudden, silent death.
Its favorite meal?
Crocodiles.
Not baby crocs. Not even adult caimans. Titanoboa swallowed whole prehistoric crocodiles the size of small cars. It dislocated its jaw, a gruesome trick of evolution, and dragged the victim down its throat, still twitching. The jungle didn't hear the screams. There were none. Because by the time you saw Titanoboa's yellow, lidless eyes staring into yours, it was already too late.
Chapter 4. Queen Without Rival.
In the Paleocene ecosystem, Titanoboa had no natural predators. It was queen of the swamps, ruling an empire of reeds, vines, and shadows.
No beast direct challenger.
Mammals were still tiny and timid. Birds had just begun to evolve their modern forms. Crocodilians were fierce, but even they knew fear. And so, Titanoboa slithered where she pleased, the ground trembling beneath her weight. Her body was a moving wall of muscle, her coils like tree trunks, her tongue flickering like a dagger in the air. But she was more than a predator. She was a relic, a glimpse into Earth's past, and a reminder of its raw, unrelenting power.
Chapter 5. Lost to Time.
For millions of years, Titanoboa reigned. Her kind spread across ancient South America, ruling from the shadows. But as the climate cooled and the jungles thinned, her kingdom began to shrink. Reptiles no longer had the size advantage. Mammals were growing smarter, faster, more dominant. The world was changing.
And Titanoboa.
She vanished. Buried beneath layers of soil and rock, her bones waited, silent and forgotten, until one day, scientists digging in a Colombian coal mine unearthed a jaw. Then vertebrae the size of dinner plates. Then fossil after fossil. What they found stunned the world. The remains of the largest snake to have ever lived. Chapter 6. rediscovered terror. In 2009, the scientific community revealed her name, Titanoboa ceruginoensis. The world was fascinated and horrified. Reconstructions showed a creature unlike anything in modern times. Documentaries called her the snake that ate crocodiles.
Headlines screamed: Prehistoric monster uneart. Titanoboa, Nature S ultimate predator.
If she lived today, no one would be safe. Paleontologists compared her to Godzilla, calling her a living conveyor belt of death. And fans, they were hooked. Titanoboa quickly became a pop culture icon, a symbol of the prehistoric world's brutality and beauty. Video games, films, and exhibits celebrated her. But beneath the media frenzy, a question remained.
What if Titanoboa hadn't gone extinct?
What if, somewhere in the untouched corners of the Amazon, her descendants still slither in silence?
Chapter 7. The Legacy of Titanoboa.
Titanoboa's story is more than prehistoric horror. It's a story of survival, adaptation, and dominance. She existed in a time when the Earth was rebuilding itself. She flourished not through speed, or sight, or intelligence, but through patience.
Through brute strength.
Through sheer, chilling evolutionary efficiency. And her bones remind us, we are not the first apex predators to walk, or slither, across this planet. Others came before. Bigger, stronger,
Stranger.
and they didn't need claws or fangs to rule.
Chapter 8. Final warning from the jungle.
The rainforest where Titanoboa once ruled is now scarred by mining, logging, and climate change.
But in the deep green heart of the jungle, where human footsteps fade and silence returns, there still hangs heavy with it. The shadows still move strangely. The rivers still churn with secrets. Maybe Titanoboa is gone.
Or maybe, her legacy is not. Because in every jungle, there is something watching.
In every swamp, something stirs.
And sometimes, just sometimes,
The past slithers back. Epilogue, Queen of the Shadows.
Titanoboa is more than a fossil. She is a legend carved in bone and mystery, the echo of a time when nature didn't whisper. It roared, and then it hissed. So the next time you walk through a rainforest trail and hear nothing, don't be relieved. Be afraid. Because that's how Titanoboa hunted. And queens don't forget their jungle.